Jordan here from ThatCarLife, and today we're going to be talking about 5 things that I love about my S15. And a lot of you guys have probably noticed I've been wearing this red Benki Spec hoodie for like the past 3 videos in a row. And like literally I haven't even done it on purpose. It's just like honestly one of the most comfortable hoodies I've worn, and it's so cold in Sydney at the moment. It's like 5 to 10 to 15 degree weather. It's really cold. So yeah, it's been absolutely freezing in Sydney. I don't know why, but yeah, this hoodie is honestly like so warm, so comfortable. And yeah, shout out to Benki Spec or Rex H. Yeah, cracker hoodie, and love your channel as well, bro. All right, enough chatter, let's get into the video. All right, so the very first thing that I love about my S15 has to be the design and the look of the S15. Now, this car, the whole design and look of the Silvia, it's literally timeless. It's become a timeless design. You know, it is quite a different look than, you know, the previous S13 and S14 as well. And in my opinion, it kind of looks a lot more modern, and it's kind of stood the test of time. Like, I've asked people who aren't really into cars like when they think this car was made, and honestly a lot of them have said, you know, 2011, 2012, 2013, stuff like that. But yeah, people who don't really know much about these cars, you know, and I asked them about it, they literally think that this was made, you know, within the last 10 years or so, which is pretty crazy, but it just shows how timeless this design is of the S15. You know, compared to the S13 and S14, they're amazing cars, but you know, you can tell that they're made, you know, in the late 90s, early 2000s. But this car, it is something special. And the design of the S15 is something that really made me just fall in love with it, really, when I was younger. Like, the S15 became my dream car when I was like 13 years old. I had a ride on one, I saw one, and I absolutely fell in love. And you know, if you guys want to hear the full story of how I actually fell in love with the S15 and how it became my dream car, let me know in the comments. I can do a video on, like, you know, that whole experience, which is pretty cool. But yeah, 13-year-old me literally saw the whole design of the S15 when I saw one in person, and I absolutely fell in love, guys. I mean, just the whole way it's designed, like, it's just the way it's shaped, the way the headlights are, like, I can't even describe it. It's just such a like visibly, aesthetically appealing car. Like, and bear with me, guys, it hasn't been washed because it's been like terrible weather, but honestly, like every angle that I look at this car is just there's no bad angle with an S15. I feel like no matter which way you look at the car, it looks good, even in its stock form as well. Like, obviously this one has, you know, some mods to it, aesthetic mods, and other S15s that you see will have aesthetic mods as well. But even without that, like, it's just such a good looking car. And honestly, Nissan did such a good job, you know, for the late 90s and early 2000s, designing a car such as this. Like, look at these body lines, man. Like, the body lines flow throughout the whole entire car. It's just, they did such a good job. Even the interior, guys, the interior of the S15 is like so ahead of its time. Keep in mind, these cars started coming out in the late 90s. And look at the interior, like, straight up, you wouldn't believe that this is, you know, I mean, my car is a 2001, but, you know, a late 90s, early 2000s car, like, even the interior is held up, you know, for its age. Like, it really is ahead of its time. It just doesn't look cheap whatsoever. And, you know, I love the fact that it has the Silvia badge here on the dash. You know, even the factory shift knob, which I ended up putting, I had a Nismo shift in my head. I had a Nismo shift knob on the car when I bought it, but I ended up putting the factory, you know, shift knob that the S15 came with on it, and it looks so much better. Like, even the nice white modern dash, it even came with a boost gauge from the factory as well with most S15s. Like, and some S15s even had a GPS pop-up module in the middle. But I'll put a photo up here if I can find one. But literally some S15s from the late 90s as well literally had a pop-up section in the middle dash that would come up with a screen, and it had like a GPS nav. And a lot of people put like aftermarket screens in there, kind of similar to the R34 GTR, where it would have, like, you know, boost screens and you know, like just car data on the screen and stuff like that, or even put a head unit there. And yeah, people can do crazy stuff with that. But you know, the fact that you know, a late 90s, early 2000s Nissan like this had that and has all this stuff, and on the interior, on the exterior, it's just timeless design, way ahead of its time. And yeah, absolutely love it. All right, so the next thing that I absolutely love about my S15, and just the S15 as a car in general, is the sound of an S15. Now, these things come with the almighty SR20DET, and look, the SR20 has, you know, kind of mixed opinions with a lot of car people. Not many people like it. Some people think it sounds like, you know, like a farty, or don't really like the 4-cylinder sound. But in my personal opinion, I absolutely love the sound of the SR20, and I think it's a really unique sound, and it can make a lot of really good noises. But I think getting an SR20 to sound good honestly depends on your exhaust setup as well. You know, I had a straight pipe for 2 years and it sounded like a diesel tractor, which probably a lot of people wouldn't like, and for some reason I liked it at the time, but I got sick of it. And you know, it really is all your exhaust setup with an SR20 to make it sound good. But that's pretty much every car, you know. But you know, with a nice resonator and stuff like that, you can really make this car sound good, have a nice tone. And yeah, I'll put some exhaust clips here for what the car sounds like, and I think it sounds pretty good, you know. With bigger power and big work done, these things sound even crazier, like, you know, with external gates and all that kind of stuff. But even just with a factory, like near stock S15 with a nice exhaust, you know, they do sound really, really good. And yeah, I love the SR20 note, you know, with the stock manifold too. It sounds so raw, so mean. You know, my friend Hass's S15 sounds like that. I'll put some clips up here as well of his car when we went drifting. And my car has, you know, an aftermarket manifold like this. So yeah, you can get a few different sounds out of the SR20, you know, with your exhaust setup and your manifold as well. But overall, I think you can make them sound pretty good, and they do sound pretty cool. But that's just the exhaust. Now, we haven't even started with the turbo yet. So the S15s actually come stock with a Garret T28 turbo. I'm not sure if you can see it in here. It's down there, you know, you can just see it. So the Jap spec S15s came with a ball bearing T28 Garret, and the ADM S15s like mine came with a bush bearing T28. So obviously the ball bearing turbo with the Jap specs is a better version of the turbo, and I'm pretty sure that's why the power to weight ratio with the Jap specs makes the Japanese version illegal, and the bush bearing turbo is what makes the ADM S15s P-plate legal in Australia. That's what I think. Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong about that. But whether you have a ball bearing T28 or bush bearing T28 in the S15, it doesn't really matter. I think they both sound equally as good. My car is a bush bearing turbo T28 because it's an ADM model S15 and P-plate legal as well. And I think my turbo flutter sounds hectic. And yeah, SR20s and the T28s that they come with on the S15s, they honestly are famous for having such a good turbo flutter sound. You know, it's pretty much up there with the VL turbo. I've said that before on my channel. And yeah, the S15 has some of the best turbo flutter in the world, and that's another thing that made me fall in love with the S15, you know, even more when I was a 13-year-old experiencing this car. You know, and that's part of the reason why it was my dream car, you know, the looks, the sound, and that's honestly one of the best things I love about it. So I'll chuck in some clips as well that I can find of the turbo flutter of this car. And yeah, you guys can't blame me. Like, it's such a good sound. So yeah, honestly, you can't go wrong with the turbo sound of an S15. And if you guys want to find out how to make your S15 flutter, or just any turbo car, I'll link it up here. I did a video on how to make your Silvia flutter. So I'll let you guys know all the tips and everything that you need, you know, to make an S15 dose. So yeah, overall, the sound of the S15 with the exhaust and especially the turbo dose, that's definitely why it's the second thing that I love about my S15. Alright, so the next thing that I love about my S15 and just S15s in general as well is how fun and easy they are to drift and drive, but especially to drift. Now, I spoke about this in my last video as well. I'll put up here on, you know, whether you should drift an S15 and stuff like that. And yeah, S15s and just the S chassis in general are pretty much made to drift. Like, they are so good at drifting, and they feel amazing to drift. And especially with just a stock car, a stock S chassis or a stock S15, it kicks out so easily. It's so fun. It's easy to control. It's fun to, it's fun to experience, and it's an easy car to learn on. You know, especially because S15s come with a, you know, LSD from the factory, and you know, the power to weight ratio and the power that it does make, it just makes for an overall fun drifting experience and a really great car to learn on, you know, to get into drifting and stuff like that. So yeah, that's another thing I love about S15s, is just how fun and easy they are to, you know, to drift, and how awesome they are to get into drifting. It's really good if you do get a Silvia or an S chassis. It can really get you open to the world of drifting and experiencing that as well. And yeah, it's absolutely a massive reason why I love these things. So if you guys want to see me drifting this S15, I do have a few videos of me taking this thing to the skid pan, which you can find on my channel. I'll link some of them up here as well. But I'll chuck in some drifting clips from my mate Hass's S15 where we went drifting just a few months ago. I'll put some of those in here as well. And yeah, you can just see how fun and awesome these are to drift. Oh fuck, dude, you guys so fucking So as you can see, we're having the absolute time of our lives, and yeah, you can have so many fun, amazing driving and drifting experiences in these yourself, and that's definitely why, that's one of the main reasons why I absolutely love my S15 and just S15s in general as well. All right, so another thing I love about S15s is the power that these SR20s are capable of as well. So with just a few mods, you can easily get an S15 over 200 kilowatts, with a tune obviously, of course. So, you know, with the basic stuff like an exhaust, a front mount intercooler, you know, injectors and a fuel pump, which I do have injectors and a fuel pump, they're just not on the car yet, but if you were to put that on, you know, with the tune, you can easily just get up to 200 kilowatts, and with, you know, a bigger turbo and a cam or something like that, you know, you can make over 220 kilowatt. You know, even if you do 85, you can get even more, and that's before doing any head work or anything like that, minus the cam, of course. But yeah, these things are capable of some, you know, some pretty decent power with just a few mods in a tune. So that's another really awesome reason why the S15s are, you know, amazing. So yeah, the S15 does have a lot of respect, and that's another thing that I really love about the car, that, you know, it is respectable. And you know, when you're driving down the street or you're driving anywhere, like, a lot of people do respect and appreciate the car and show that appreciation as well. Like, you know, you get a lot of thumbs up and people saying stuff to you as well on the street, which you know, and showing their appreciation for the car and all that stuff. And it does make you feel good as an owner as well, you know, that other people are enjoying the car and it's not just you, you know. And the respect that this car has in the community is just, it's another big reason that I absolutely just love the S15, you know. All right, so I really hope you guys enjoy that video on, you know, the reasons why I love the S15 and why I love my S15 as well. Yeah, I know it was a pretty quick video, but I am trying to pump out the you know, the weekly uploads for you guys, and you know, get into the swing of things again, and I hope you guys can appreciate that. Also guys, I just wanted to give a big thank you to all of you who have shown, you know, the channel and the videos and myself so much support recently. We're actually so close to 2,000 subscribers, which is insane. You know, we're so close to hitting that, and it's such a big milestone for me and for the channel. And you know, I'm so excited that we're so close to hitting that, and I just can't be any more grateful. And thank you for all of you guys who have shown me so much support on the channel, who have bought stickers as well. And guys, merch is coming very, very soon, and apparel is coming soon for the channel. It is in the works, and yeah, I can't believe that, you know, we're so close to 2,000. I can't just can't be any more grateful. Just thank you guys so much. And make sure you guys follow the ThatCarLife Instagram. I'll put it down here. I do have something awesome in mind for when we do hit 2K subscribers. I'm planning on doing a Q&A, and I do have something really big planned for the channel and for you guys as well once we hit that milestone. And also, if you guys want to follow ThatCarLife brand, I'll put it down here. It hasn't really been that active recently, but it will be soon. So if you guys want to see you know, any of ThatCarLife brand updates with, you know, the merch and stickers or anything like that, give that a follow as well. That'd be awesome. And if you guys want to check that out too. All right, guys, so I'll probably leave the video there for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and thank you all so much once again for all the support and, you know, for getting us so close to 2,000. I really appreciate it. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure as always you like, comment, subscribe, all of that for more. And I'll see you guys next time on ThatCarLife.